Greetings, good humans, and welcome to Tabletop Alchemy, where sometimes we kick off a new year with something we don't want to do. You know, we all have things we don't want to do, and I don't want to do this. I have to clean my hobby area. So do you. Don't shy away. Let's face it together. I got to clean my hobby desk here, and I need to clean and straighten and organize my shelving storage space that's part of the hobby desk workspace area. You know, I'm using this channel as an excuse to get things done. Let's bite the bullet together. Like, I got to wipe everything off the table, you know, not the lights and stuff and the TV monitor, but all the hobby stuff has to come off here so that I can clean the actual surface of the desk, and then we will put things back onto the desk in a nice and orderly manner, like a good hobbyist. I do know some hobbyists that are very organized. I am not one of those. You're welcome for the hot light right behind me. This is pro level studio space here, man. Come on. Lights equal money. Production value. Yes, I know it's wrong. I know it's terrible. I apologize. That's why we have this overhead view here, so, you know, you don't have to look at that light the whole time. That's what I should have done, is put up a card table behind me to put stuff on. Maybe I should do that. There's my wet palette. It needs to be, I dried it out in anticipation for this video. I have these two boxes here that I keep most of my paints in, and they're not really for transport. They are mostly for just organization. And usually what I do is after each miniature that I paint, or each, you know, if I'm painting a unit or whatever, but after each project, I usually take all the paints that I've left out here on the desk, that I've collected colors that I'm using and stuff, and I put them all back in the boxes. So this is left over from the last thing that I painted, which was like a month and a half or 2 months ago. These are all regular paint. In contrast, this box over here also has paints, so it's not really in contrast. This box over here is full of metallics and leftover paint wiping paper towels, but this box is full of metallics and washes. Inks, washes, and metallics. You know, I have some sense of organization going on. This little pile of stuff right here is mediums, water, and blacks and whites, which I kind of keep those all separate as well. And I keep those in my box of metallics, I guess, just so I know where they are. Everything's built on just, I need to know where stuff is, right? So I can find it. It's my own little organizational system. No one can crack the code. Nobody can come in here and paint a miniature like me because they don't know where my colors are. I got to stop jabbering here and get something done. So we'll just cut to the overhead camera for a time lapse, because, you know, a time lapse is going to make it look super fast and super easy and simple, and they're fun to watch. But I have to do all the work to make the time lapse happen. That's where the labor is. The sweat, the tears, the crying in the corner. So it's kind of cleaned off here, mostly. First thing is, we're going to address the few things that were on my hobby desk that shouldn't be on there. And in fact, that's kind of what this whole organization thing is kind of driven by a little bit, other than just a general cleaning up of the area. That's always helpful. But over here in my bookcase area, I have quite a few things in there, like miniatures and stuff, that, you know, haven't been correctly filed into the pile of opportunity boxes, and they're just in this mix of stuff that's with, you know, for terrain making and stuff, and that's unacceptable. Let's get out the stuff I need to find homes for. I've had some bits of terrain here sitting on the side of the desk that I've used in a few games, but I need to find them homes. I need to put them away. Got these little canister guys. I even built this thing. One day I was going to do it for a video, and I built it. I do have the footage of building. This is one of the World War II sets, 35th scale sets. I got it at one of the hobby one of the model shows, like model swap meets. Got really cheap. I built it up, and then I was going to make a whole little, I was going to make a little terrain piece out of it and like have it be on its little base. But then I was thinking, if I put it onto a base and build like stuff around it, which would be cool, but then it becomes like a bigger piece of scattered terrain. And I thought, well, maybe it actually needs to be on its own. So it could just be put anywhere on the table. So anyway, half-done projects. That's what we're all about here. Tabletop Alchemy. We've got like foam that's left over from doing the modular magnetic walls. I've got dice for D&D or other war games, any kind of games, you know. Lots of dice in these 2 bags here, and this is a domino set that I have. This is the multicolored domino set. I've got a few other domino sets that I'm using for playtesting my game, the Cascade. We can put these back on here. This is the Dremel tool that I use once in a while. I usually just leave it plugged in here at the top of the desk. And then, of course, I have my paint mixer, which stays on the desk right in this area somewhere in there. These brushes need to go with the oil painting stuff. This watercolor palette needs to go somewhere, maybe the trash. All right, I'm gonna go find some homes for this stuff, and then, you know, clickety-clackety cut. I don't know what I'm saying. I figured before we start putting stuff back on the desk, that should probably be the last step. Yeah, because I've got to clear off some of this shelving unit over here, but I have stuff that's down on the floor that needs to be picked up, and one of those things is the oil paints. Just my little crappy, cheapy oil paint set that I use for oil washes and whatever. So I figured that I should put those together with the brushes that need to go away, and maybe I should pull everything else up off the floor that needs to find a home as well. There's just too much junk here. Too much junk. Like this, I don't even know. I have this, you know, I like to dust things off sometimes, you know, as I clean stuff. I just saved this box from my old AirPods, which I still use, but it's just a nice little box. Apple makes nice boxes because you definitely pay for them, and I thought it'd be cool to put little things inside there, but I haven't put anything in there, and I have this little bag. I don't know what to do with that. There's just a lot of garbage here. What does this have in it? This has it's like terrain pigments, pigments? Yeah, it's like dry pigment stuff, which you can make with pastels. Got other things from Vallejo and stuff, you know, oil stain stuff, moss material. It's just sort of weathering. It's weathering pigments, weathering stuff. So I got to find a place to put that stuff. I've also got I have a cardboard box that's full of random apparently every time I mix up a little bit of terrain flocking, I put it in my little handy you know, soy sauce containers, and then apparently I just keep filling them up and putting them in here and forgetting that I have them. So I just make new ones, and then I stick them in this box. Apparently I don't even remember making this box. But you know what I do have? I had a couple little containers. I was like, I better save these little things. Look at these little guys, little tiny bits of terrain stuff. Yeah, I got to find little lids and put them in this box. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why am I saving that? I should be fired. Oh man, it's intimidating. I don't even know where to start. I can start on the floor. I have a box that's marked spray bottle. I think I know what's in there. Maybe I could take this little guy. Look, I could take this guy and we'll put him in here somehow. Bingo bango. One problem solved. 99 to go. I don't even think I use this stuff. This Mona Lisa air brush cleaner. I think it's like an oil, like a mineral spirits kind of thing. But it's not exactly mineral spirits, or it's not the same as you would use like this. What's his typical Gamsol, which I use for thinning the oil paints. And then I even have this. I bought this stuff, I don't know, like 2 years ago. I bought this while I was doing the 3rd episode of the Silver Bayonet narrative battle report series. And I had a very specific purpose that I was going to use this for. And I haven't forgotten. It's actually red. I know where the oil paints can go. So I've got this thing of drawers here. I'll put the oil paints underneath the black paper and put it in there. Put the brushes in there. All right, so it gets the oil paints off. I don't know what to do with this guy. I'm going to pull up all the little miniatures and models because those things should not be on these shelves. They need to go away somewhere else, specifically the pile of opportunity. But I have other things. These mystery little packages. are from my friend Hoffman. They are pretty cool. And someday they're going to show up in a video. And you'll be impressed. I swear. Okay, like, what do I got here? What is this? Oh, terrain stuff. These are some rocks that I picked up in Vermont 3 years ago. I think I've actually used one on a base at some point. So terrain stuff can go in my little terrain box over here, right? There you go, little thing of rocks. Terrain stuff goes in there. What's this little guy? This is my little black cat. A little black cat figure that we built a long time ago. This goes somewhere else. This is all my sticky tack, poster tack that I use for mounting miniatures onto my little cups for paint holders. That's definitely a utility that stays within easy reach because I use this all the time. So we'll just set that over there. Oh, here's my super expensive dice collection. Dice set that I got from Wormwood Gaming. Yeah, all the crazy amethyst, crazy sided dice. So that needs to go somewhere special and keep track of. I don't know where that somewhere special is supposed to be. I don't know. This is a container of random miniatures that are sort of half built but no bases. So that's that. And then this, what is this other than dusty? Oh, these are bits, which I have another box of bits from GW kits or sprue, anything with a sprue, and you have bits left over. So I've got stuff there. Got this box of GW skulls, so that can go with those. Here's a little container of hard drive screws, but they're all different. I have 5 different screws in here, and I don't remember what hard drive they're for. The solution is actually, it's just instead of using this large applesauce container, it's just using a small Ziploc, and then I do have an area on my computer desk for computer screws, even though I don't know to what they go to. This is just dusty and dirty, so I'll throw that one away. Feels great. These are magnets. They can't go near any electronics, so these got to go somewhere special too. Okay, oh look, here's some actual terrain that I haven't put away. So these are the little lava flying wasp holes or whatever they're called. So they need to go into an actual box of terrain, which I have. I have boxes of terrain. They're just not normally for this kind of flat, weird terrain. What kind of video is this terrain? Oh, there's room in here. There's room in this box of terrain, so I'll just put them in here, I guess. Why not? We're just trying to consolidate things and, boom. There we go. They're in a container. And I have more boxes of these Tupperware type things that have terrain in them that I use for, gaming. I don't know if they should go on this shelf. This is my little jar of baking soda that I use for fast sealing super glue and stuff. So this comes in handy quite a bit. Super glue. So yeah, super glue effect. I should just take it out of the package so it's smaller to deal with, and then we'll just put this in. I have a container back here off camera full of glues and little other things. Anyways, that'll go back there. Sure, fine, okay. This little tool thing I got because I watched an Uncle Adam video, and he showed off these little magnetic claw holder things. So they'll stick to any steel surface, and then you can pose them. And then they're just little alligator clips. They've got this stuff on the ends of them, essentially. They've got plastic dip on the ends of them. That's all considered tools. So we'll leave those off camera on that side. I can see them, you can't see them. You're not tortured by it, just me. I have a thing of BBs. I was just using this to hold things down. It's like a nice paperweight kind of thing. I bought some 1, 2, 3 blocks, which would replace the need for this, for having like a weight. I just haven't cleaned the 1, 2, 3 blocks off yet. I bought acetone specifically to clean these 1, 2, 3 blocks that I ordered like 6 months ago, because they come wrapped in this paper and they got a bunch of engine grease, I don't know, some kind of grease on them. You got to clean them off before you can use them. Super handy. Heavy, they're made out of steel, but you got to clean them with acetone, and it'll take me Literally, it'll take me like 15 minutes to do it after they soak for like 30 minutes. But I live in an apartment, so I got to put it in a dish and leave it outside because of the fumes. And I just haven't done it yet. This is another very cool thing from Hoffman that we're not going to get into, but I need to find a very safe place to put those bits. The Hoffman bits. What do I have these? These are like brush holders. They're just two random ones sitting on top of my toolbox over there. It's like, should I throw them away? Of course I should throw them away. But then you're like, oh no, it's acrylic tube. Maybe it could come in handy for something. Maybe I want to put a brush back inside of one of these things. Because the minute I throw these out is the minute I'm going to need them for something. I know it. It happens all the time. And now I have a incredible desire to throw them into this random box of terrain nonsense. And they shouldn't go in there. They have no business going in there. You know where they should go. Let's do things right. They should go into my brush, my actual brush set holder. That's what they should do. They're brush holder tubes. They should go into the brush holder set so that if I ever think one day I need a brush holder tube, where would it logically be? It would logically be in the brush set holder, right? Sure. One of them fits, sort of. Look at the other one. Look at, I saved all these little caps, these little end caps for the brushes, the little acrylic tubes. Oh man. And just think, someday I won't be here. And none of this stuff is gonna matter. It's just ludicrous. The whole thing. Life is ludicrous. These two little things, these are my little holders I made out of Sintra that hold up my LED light panels, which are down there. Which is great. I wanted to find a little box to put all that stuff in, but the LED panels are too large for most of the boxes that I have. They're too long. Random strip of plastic. Do I need this? Did I build all these guys? I don't know if I built all the guys from this set. So I don't know if I should throw this instruction booklet away, because I don't remember if I built all of them. Sure, this is literally just paper, gray paper. I'll put the gray paper over here with the black paper. Thing of paper clips, which come in handy. These are supposed to go in that toolbox. I have a space for those. And a space for this sandpaper that I use when I build models, of course. Oh, some more terrain that I haven't used yet. They're just kind of big packages. I have 2 boxes down there full of terrain, actually 3 boxes down there of terrain flocking and stuff like that. That's where tufts, things like that. These need to go with those. Crammed into the side, which I think I'm going to put this stuff back. But let's see what I've got here. I've got some skewers. This used to be a big bag full of chopsticks, because super cheap 99-cent store chopsticks come in very handy as stir sticks, paint sticks, whatever. Used to be 100 of them in here. Oh, I look for these all the time. Pipe cleaners. Great for cleaning airbrush and other things. So I don't know why I have this. It's some kind of like floral styling wire, but it's kind of like cloth coated wire. I don't know why I bought this. It's bendable. It's kind of sculptable. So I have it. All these things go in this little space alongside, you know, a little wedge space there. That's great. That's fine. That's okay. That's what that space is for. Oh, these are my reflector. This is just like these are basically white, gray, white balance cards for when you shoot with a camera and you want to white balance it. I've had these for years and years, and I actually use them for bouncing light sometimes. I used to use it bouncing light. That's why I have this foil, because the foil sometimes you want a shiny bounce, like when filming miniatures, taking photos of miniatures. So I'll just leave this stuff in a nice group here and clip it with this clip. But it should go with the photography stuff, which is right there. That pile, that's the photography stuff. But of course, all this stuff needs to also be part of the photography stuff. And I just need a box for this, which is, I have a black backdrop, just cloth, and then these are the 2 little, those light board panels that artists use for like a light box. It's kind of like a LED version of a light box, and they work great for lighting miniatures from very close. So this is like a photography chunk of stuff right here. Now, if I could only find a box that would hold all that stuff, we'd be in business. Those LED light box panels are literally like a half-inch longer than any like regular sized other thing that I have. And I just don't know how to store them. This is cork. Tear it up, use it for bases or whatever, but I also use it as dry brush palettes. That works great for that. I've got a Sintra base that I just rounded the edges on and never terrained up. So I obviously was saving this to make some terrain, like a large chunk of terrain out of. So I want to save that. We'll put that in the raw materials section over there. Oh, this box is empty. Oh, that's nice. Nice to find a box sitting on your shelf that's empty, right? Yeah, it's dead empty. So it's a nice thin box. That's why I saved it, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to save this off to the side. Slid into the side here, I have a couple of ceramic tile, which I have 2 different sizes of, which are kind of nice to have because you can mix paint on them. You can cut things on them. They're kind of impervious to everything. I mean, you can smash them, sure, but they're nice for different things. I got a small one to use as a palette. Haven't really used it too much. I used to have a piece of glass that I would use for certain things. I always forget I have these because they're just tucked up right there in the side of the cubby. But, you know, where else are you going to store stuff that's thin like this and long? So I will put these back in that spot. I believe this is a model. Yes, this is a cyberpunk truck model, like in suitable for, it's 3D printed. I think might be resin cast. I think it's 3D printed. It's pretty big. It'd be a nice terrain piece for cyberpunk stuff. So this is a model that needs to go into the pile of opportunity. So this needs to, I need a new section for models that have to go away. This is my other two 75 millimeter scale figures. I think this is the one I want to paint up next. I don't know why. I was feeling, then I look at the size of her and I'm just like, it's another big model, man. I don't know. I have all this art medium stuff just randomly out here. Look at this. I have like a thing of cork just randomly sitting on the shelf. This is all terrain stuff. You know, I've got some of the AK muddy ground stuff. This stuff's all drying out because it's been open for years, but it's still usable. Still concentrate stuff. Some more of that UV resin that I guess it's still in there, usable. I've had this for a couple years as well. Used it once. Have this resin water that I've never used. Still brand new, so can use it at some point somewhere. Oh boy, it's dusty. Everything is just dusty. Those are my little paint cups that I love to use. A little stack of new ones and used ones. These are awesome. Typically I keep them in here, but I have the big ones inside this drawer, and these I usually leave out because I grab them all the time to put miniatures on, to paint them and stuff like that. Oh, I have one random old, I don't even know if I can mix it up anymore. It was a wash that I made like 8 years ago. What is this? Oh, this is just an empty box with an empty Ziploc bag in it. That's great. I think this was a cap blocker because my shelving unit here, you could see it's just it's through. There's no back to the shelf, right? You can access the shelf from both sides. And so Rowan likes to climb up on the computer desk, which is on the opposite side of this shelf, and she'll attack things from the back. What the hell is this? Oh, I do know what this is. There's a bag of terrain, crates and barrels. Some of this has like 40K style like eagles on it. And with them, they came with, this is a 3D printed cargo containers for like cyberpunk or sci-fi setting. So yes, this is terrain models that need to go into the pile of opportunity. Terrain edition box. Oh, all right. So just random terrain bits and miniatures. Oh yeah, like weird crystals. Weird like columns. I think these are from Reaper Bones maybe, actually. I don't know. More little barrels. Little tree stumps. Oh, I think, yeah, this stuff. So like tree stumps and things can go on bases, right? So they should go on they should go on a basing material type area. Look at this. 2 horses, little barrels and bedrolls and little ammo crates, but also these are small enough that they could go on bases, which could be kind of cool. So I should save them out for basing material. Versus terrain, weird cheapy Christmas trees. Why do I have those? Oh, this little wall right here would be cool, because like in a lot of war games you can cast a spell that says, summon a wall, and there you have like a wall. Okay, this needs to be painted up as a nice cool little piece of terrain. This is from, I think, WizKids or something, but it's a nice little piece of terrain for fantasy stuff that I had planned to paint up at some point. So this is all just random terrain bits and some miniatures. So the miniatures need to go into the pile of opportunity. The terrain stuff needs to also... I don't know what to do. I don't know how to... The tree stumps are good for... I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this. I need to like remember that I have all this stuff so I can use it. But then it needs to be somewhere where I remember where it is. These could go... They just go in this box? What? That's nuts. Can I put this in this box? I should not be doing this. Someone else should be doing this. This is craziness. Because I will just start hiding things from myself. I knew there was a reason. I didn't want to do this video. Don't start taking things off the shelves to organize them. Be lazy. Go sit down and watch football. Play Minecraft. Some more terrain, odds and end terrain stuff. I've got little plastic plants in here and a little bunch of palm trees for making jungle stuff. I made a whole bunch of jungle terrain once, and I want to make a whole batch more, so I have extra palm trees in there. This is a little cheapy softboxy thing that can go with the photography stuff. This is my Dremel tool bits box. So many bits boxes. This goes with the tools. We know we're going to keep that. This is my box of craft paint. Stuff from Michael's or whatever, like the apple barrel stuff. That's good for terrain stuff and everything. I don't really mix this paint with the other types of model paint, so we'll just leave this one as is, and it can stay on this shelf here, I guess. These things of paints, these old paints, why do I need these? I don't use them. They should go somewhere buried down there, down in the shelves way low, because I don't really use them very much. Actually, I will put them under this. Magnification glasses that I don't really like using, so I haven't used them very much. So some of the stuff I'm not sure I'd categorize if I don't really use it, but I might need to use it someday because they do have high magnification lenses. This is another bottle. Oh, these are like, this is a box of backup paints where I have like doubles of certain paints that I really like. Like I've got a bunch of contrast medium, a couple bottles of that. I got a couple bottles of the express color medium. I've got like one of my favorite P3 black paints, which is just P3 black. Some old army washes that are brand new bottles. Wildwood contrast. Contrast paints I thought were really good, so I doubled up on them. A couple of extra washes. This box doesn't really fit them because it doesn't close. I don't like that. That sucks. They need a new box. My magnets could go in here where they'd be safe from electronic devices and things. They can go into this little box of terrain stuff. I'm not sure why, but I'll probably forget that they're in there, and I'll never be able to find them again. I'm probably going to end up having to rewatch this video to find out where I put the magnets. I wonder if I could put these skulls in this terrain box. That'd be good too. Again, collapse boxes inside of boxes. Anything to help. I could probably take the sprues out of here, actually. But yeah, I like knowing what the thing is. I think they'll fit in here like that. I don't care about those Christmas trees. I don't care if they get smashed. Perfect. These two boxes here, I know exactly what they are. And they are bases for miniatures. All kinds of bases and custom bases. All my old, any of the bases that come with GW kits or whatever. So I've got a bunch of 3D printed bases and things like that for miniatures. So these two I use all the time. So they'll stay up where they're at. But let's see what else we have on the shelf. We have more miniatures. So these are all miniatures that need to go into the pile of opportunity storage, which is in the back room. So we'll put these over here. Great, we're moving right along. What do I got here? I've got, what is this now? We got some more containers. Oh boy, this is a whole box. A whole shoebox of miniatures that does not need to be on these shelves. This is a box specifically for, I got more Dwarven Forge miniatures in here. I've got other minis in here. Oh, this is mini terrain stuff. This has to go in this box down here. That's great. This has to go to the back room. Another batch of paints that I don't use a lot. There's a whole bunch of inks in here. Dalarani inks and stuff. I don't use them too often. I've got a lot of these. Some other little bottles of washes. Some other weird stuff. Some of the golden paints. And a bunch of the Army Painter War Paints airbrush paints. I don't use those very often either. But I do have a chunk of these. More golden colors. So I do use these kind of a little bit. So I could maybe, but I'll put them in here. I can put these on top of the craft paints or under the craft paints. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're all usable for like terrain and stuff, so I don't know how often I use this stuff. I'm trying to think of what stuff I want to reach back there for. I think I have a couple of these glass domes, like clochards, are they called? Cloches? They're just glass domes, right? They go on top of display pieces. I think I've got 3 of them of various sizes, but they should be stored in the back boxes as well. Not necessarily in the same box as miniatures, but back there I've got some storage. Okay, this cork stuff. What do I do with this cork stuff? Fold this in half and break it. Maybe it could fit into this box with the parts. Doesn't seem like a super bright thing to do, but goes in a box. Weathering stuff. Oh, that'd be great if it would fit here, but it won't fit. It will if it goes sideways. That's part of terrain stuff too. That's great. I have more 2 boxes that are like this that just have bottles of things. Bottle boxes. So this is a bunch of primer and paint thinner kind of material, like matte medium, stuff like that. There's some, here's my decal stuff. Turbo Dork paint, I don't know why that's in there. Ultra matte varnish backup bottle, matte. So it's like mattes and paints, which is kind of where this should go. This is that crazy tacky hobby tack glue, which is great for terrain, for foliage and stuff. That should go with the glues. I don't really have glues in here. I have Zip Kicker. I hate this stuff. I mean, it works great, but it smells just terrible. I hate it. These are mediums as well, but they're like gel mediums and stuff for, it's kind of like this stuff without the color and sort of the texture stuff mixed in. So you can make your own. I don't know if it ends up being cost effective or not. Then I do have another box. Oh, this one's really full of glues and things, but it's kind of overflowing. So I've got a lot of Mod Podge, 2-part epoxy. I've got Uhu glue, airbrush medium, water texture. That can go in here. If this is like for glues and mediums are in the other box, then I should switch this stuff around. I have this all game terrain box. It's a nice sized sort of shoeboxy sort of thing. So maybe I could make use of that just because it's a nicer box. So I got more terrain in here. Mod Podge bottles, just the right height. They will fit. I have these giant plastic, they're not giant, but I have a few of these that have but some room for these things that I keep my sort of loose terrain stuff in. I made it fit. Okay. Okay, so that's that. What about this one? This one is more the sort of the loose baggy kind of stuff. Terrain stuff. I guess we can slap this in here. Alright, so this one goes in here where Rowan is sitting. Watch out. Watch out, you. I'm talking to you. Does it fit? It's an inch too tall. Of course. What if I just did like that? But then, of course, the question is, why? I'm just putting a cubby inside of a. I'm just putting a cubby inside of a cubby, right? A box inside of a square. Although it does kind of keep it organized a little bit. I'm all about ease of use as well. Like if I want to take pictures, I need to have it like just easy to use. Otherwise it makes me not want to take the pictures or get things done. Now alongside that, since I have room on the side of that stuff there, I have a whole cubby that's empty, but I do have this terrain here. That could go up here, but this is like quick access. Oh, this was more terrain stuff, so that could go right there too. I haven't really done too much here other than just make it a little neater and kind of remind myself of what I have. I still have that stuff up there. Box of Skaven and Skaven terrain out of I bought off of eBay off one of the things. So this has to go into the pile of opportunity. One pile after another. This is more, oh, this is that river terrain. This is modular wall terrain, which I think I can put in this box over here. This is my one of my two little toolboxes. This is usually where I carry or keep the whatever these are, paper clips. So I'll put the BBs in there. These guys can go in there. This box of metal magnet stuff, that's great. These are glasses. I like wearing these glasses instead of like that big magnifier glass thing that I showed you. So these are spare ones of those. They're +5 and +6 power. I haven't used +6s yet. That day's coming. The sticky tack and the whatever this is. These need to be easy access. I can put those there because I grab those all the time. Now my spare little mixing cups and everything, they can go right up here. I've got 2 spray bottles. That can just slide up here. It's just another little box that can slide to the back so I can forget about it. And then someday I'll be like, I need a spray bottle. I knew I had a box somewhere. Where did I put it? But then I can pull up this video and I'll remind myself and I'll know where it is. It's not too bad. I can put this desk back together now. That was quite a bit. Everything seems nice and usable now. I think everything is set up quite similar to the way it was before, and I can always micro adjust that stuff. Because you know, your hobby space, it works just the way you want it. You have everything arrayed to just reach out and grab it. I need this, it's right here, and this, it's right here. And then, you know, stuff accumulates, and then of course you got to clean your space. But then you want to put it back and have everything in reach. Still got all stuff. This looks so much nicer over here now. I still have to go to fix that pile of stuff I put over there and take it to the back. But you just consider it done. Just imagine my whole apartment is clean and arranged in a perfect manner. Get it, just do it. Just get it over with. Clean your space. You'll be happy you did. See ya.